Hey everyone, nice to see you all. It's so nice to see you during this midweek Wednesday to share some of my thoughts. This week, I'll be preaching this Sunday. Just wanted to give you a heads up on what's happening this Sunday. As a matter of fact, we are starting a new sermon series on in community, and we're actually transitioning from the family ministry, sermon series into our community series. And particularly, I'm going to be talking about what it means to be growing together in unity. And I'll be preaching from the passage from Ephesians chapter 4, where Apostle Paul said this: "As a prisoner for the Lord, then I urge you to live a life worthy of the calling you have received. Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient and bearing with one another in love. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace." I think it's a great passage. I love the letter to the Ephesians church, and so you'll hear that this Sunday. One of the things that I'll be talking about, this passage is specifically surrounded with the Greek word peripateo, which is usually that's where we get our English word walk or live. What does it mean to walk in faith? What does it mean to be living or live worthy of the calling you have received, right, in this passage? So in this chapter and next chapter, chapter 5, it's surrounded, the teaching is surrounded on this word, this verb particularly. And hopefully we'll learn a lot more this Sunday together when we examine this passage and how we can apply to our lives, and what does growing together look like. And also when we could be united. We could be united and growing, but the thing is, if we are united for the wrong reason, it's not that good either. It's bad, actually. And that is the picture that we see in Genesis chapter 11, where the story about the Tower of Babel, and where people kind of came together for they were united, but for a bad cause. They weren't really doing it for God, but they were doing it for themselves. And listen to this, chapter 11, it says, "Now the whole world had one language and a common speech. As man moved eastward, they found a plain in Shinar and settled there. And they said to each other, 'Come, let us make bricks and bake them thoroughly.' They used brick instead of stone and tar for mortar. And then they said, 'Come,' listen to this, 'Come, let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens, so that we may make a name for ourselves and not be scattered over the face of the whole earth.'" Now, obviously, if you read on, God was not pleased with them. God was not pleased. He was not pleased with them. As a matter of fact, you know what happened after that, right? The Lord actually came down, and in verse 8, the Lord scattered them from there over all the earth, and they stopped building the city, and that is why it is called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of the whole world. From there, the Lord scattered them over the face of the whole earth, right? Obviously, God was not pleased with them. Yeah, they were united, but they were united for a wrong purpose. And we got to be careful with that. The whole united thing and growing together as a community, that leads me thinking one of the things that I'll be using in my sermon is an illustration about how we go to YSMP. A lot of you guys have been on YSMP with me, and one of the things that we love to get on a YSMP trip is these gummy bear packs, specifically for VBS snacks. And we would get them, right? So the thing is that Arizona is so hot, and usually when it's sitting in the car too long, they melt. They melt. And then by the time we get to the church, put it back in the room temperature, they would gel back, they would cool down and gel back together in one blob of gummy candy in a bag. And what happened is that the kids would love them. They love that more than the individual gummy instead. And this reminds me how interesting that is when we're united for a good purpose, for God's purpose, we can do great things. When people, let's say if people look at us, when people look at our youth group, when people look at our church, do they see that we are united? Do they want what we have? Do they want to be part of us, right? Purposely, I wore this shirt. I'm wearing this shirt today, the Lift shirt, you know. Do people want this shirt? Do they want to wear this shirt? Or when we're wearing it, are we proud of wearing this shirt? Right? What does it mean to be united and growing together in Christ? Growing together in unity. So let me know your thoughts. Leave your comments below. Hit us with like, share, or subscribe. I love to hear from you. So God bless you all. Have a great week. See you guys Sunday. Bye-bye.